It's time for
in memoriam for Gene Mean Machine Hackman, who had passed away recently.
Mean Machine.
Mean Machine. Mang.
He looked like a mean bastard if he
did.
wanted to be.
Sounded like, well, ask Wes Anderson about that.
Right.
Smarmy cunt. Hey, Gene.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get a performance out of you here.
Well,
What have you done lately?
Gene realized after he saw it that he was wrong. That's why first impressions don't always count. Because I would have thought Wes Anderson, he was a pretentious, eggy
Bottle
douche,
rocket?
you know?
What was the
No,
first Wes
just
An-
by meeting him, if he
what
was
the
your
first,
director, you know, Bottle
Wes
Rocket.
Anderson. Bottle Rocket, yeah. Well, yeah, of course. If you walked on set not knowing you weren't in the, Gene was on the way out. The hipster doofus vibe was still coming in 97, 98.
Maybe one of them's cool. I
Right.
doubt it. The way that mustache is curled up. But
That doesn't dictate coolness. This is in the 1800s.
the time it takes to curl that motherfucker.
Well, at the time, that's what you did. You couldn't grow long hair back then, though. It was
You had to
illegal.
find a place for your earwax and your shit juice is what it was, and that's what kept it in place.
There were aluminum cans handy.
Cactus hair and some dust.
Oh, man. I know foreskin spittoon has had to been used before, but that's a great Kenny Apple treat.
Foreskin what?
Foreskin spittoon. Just give me a second to empty my foreskin spittoon.
We'll have to put that on Romantic Ballads Part 2. She was a foreskin spittoon. Everybody knew, but I fell into it.
Well, that's just a cum residue joke then by that point. If she's the foreskin spittoon. Anyway, Gene Hackman.
Yes, rest in peace. What? That shit was weird.
Yeah, I don't know
Like
about all that.
the dog and the...
Fiance, and then
So it turns out that she died and he has dementia and
Sure.
he
Walking
was
around the house.
starving walking around the house.
he's 95.
Yeah. He
So, I
didn't
mean-
eat, so he ended up dying of
And the,
not eating.
in the mud room, like the room you walk into to take your shoes off.
I don't understand that you not have a
Caretaker, somebody that comes and mows the
cleaner
lawn.
or anybody.
All right.
And
I guess it's like a.
you not. He's
Not a
got
plantation.
family, right? Does nobody text him? Or he probably doesn't know how to do that.
I'm sure he's beyond
because
that.
he looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
He looked frail as shit, but
I mean, cell phones been predominant for 20 years. I'm sure a 75-year-old Hackman was like, "Fuck this! Call my agent. If you need to get a hold of me, open a window and yell."
Hackman.
If I say Gene Hackman, what movie comes to mind?
I have to say, probably Superman at that time
Sure.
because he's a great
Yeah.
Lex. Is it Luger or Luther?
Luther.
Luther.
Yeah.
So
It's
Lex
not-
Luger is the
Is a play on it, right? It's a
He's
whole
a-
package.
now Lex Luger looks like Christopher Reeve.
He
Hackman.
does. Oh, he does. We need to get this guy some fetuses.
Crack open a couple. Aniston's
That's-
got a couple in her
Oh, yeah.
freezer.
I'm sure.
Because there's no way she looks that good.
No, it's weird.
She hasn't
Yeah,
transferred
no,
her looks from.
no.
There's the cute one from the '80s.
Yeah.
and Leprechaun, the early '90s,
Right through.
and then from Friends on, she's kind of looked the same.
Look at almost the exact same, right? So is
Yeah.
Pitt, oddly. Maybe they're in
Well,
some
Pitt's
calls.
he's a little rugged.
Yeah, that's true.
And
those
once
Jolie,
upon a
those
time-
Jolie years took their
You're
toll
right.
on it.
Once upon a time, he looks really rugged.
Hold on, 6 of these kids aren't mine. So I gotta raise them.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I can't yell at them.
That's gotta be
I
Illuminati.
can't yell at them.
That's gotta be Illuminati type of shit. Who the fuck would do that if you're
A normal individual.
unless that pussy grips it like a fucking. Rawr! There's no way.
Even then,
You don't think Brad could find another one of those
Right.
anywhere
Right. Very interesting.
that doesn't cost this much fucking publicity and
Right.
fucking.
Well, it's probably
You don't
a
think
setup.
he liked that shit?
No, he didn't seem like that kind of guy. And it seems like Jennifer was onto the scheme, understood it, because it wasn't like acrimonious, and then they've been cool ever since. So it's almost like she understood what had to happen in the transferring
We'll
of power.
split the baby fetuses.
Right. Right.
'Cause that shit can't get out.
I get 2, you get 1.
Fuck.
You know.
Little do they know Trump's gonna get that shit out there.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to keep these celebrities.
These are the baby fetus eating motherfuckers.
Really big nose.
I've seen pictures of Hackman like on the internet in the last couple of years where he looked like, because he's.
I saw when he
his
pumped
last
gas.
movie was.
Well, it was 2005. Welcome to Mooseport.
That
Ray
was his
Romano.
last movie?
I believe so. Ray Romano, 2005. I remember the video from my time at Hollywood Video. I remember seeing it on the shelf in comedy. Nobody ever rented it, of course. Oh, Crimson Tide, Get Shorty, Chamber, Absolute. He had a run at the end. Welcome to Mooseport, son.
Wow.
04.
Because that was sitting on there, and I'm like, that was an Orville movie, like I never wanted. So, but Hackman's
I've never
in
seen
it.
it.
But I didn't know Hackman was in Birdcage too.
Oh, yeah, we just watched that this weekend.
Because that was another Orville movie where it's
surprisingly funny, but I'm
probably
not.
it's Mike Nichols, you know. But
yeah, and Lane's are great. Azaria's great.
instead of
His '90s run is pretty
of
stiff.
fucking Superman,
Yeah,
I'll say Hoosiers because
That's
fucking
tremendous.
movie is great.
that's tremendous.
He's so good in that.
I've seen it.
And Dennis Hopper's decent, but still.
My Hoosier story is we lived in Portland, and my sister and her boyfriend. So I would have been 87. I would have been 10. Going to the movies, it was a 2-for-1, and we had to watch Hoosiers to watch Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 was the new movie that came out, and Hoosiers was the old movie. It was like a drive-in, but it was in the theater. It was 2 movies. So her and her boyfriend, like she was 16 and I was whatever, you know, took me to the movies, and we had to sit through Hoosiers. And we were being bored, but we had to sit through it for Evil Dead 2. And I remember by the end of the movie, it was like a Rocky IV ending. And I remember the whole crowd getting amped up.
But
That's my Hoosier
not
story.
But now, fucking Hoosiers, it's like, it's a perfect movie.
Sure,
I think, you know.
Who's the
Except
director?
Barbara Hershey's in it.
Out of curiosity.
She's in there.
Is that true? Is that the love interest? I don't get that.
I don't think the director's anybody special.
I also
Hold
shit.
on, let
okay.
me see here.
No, I couldn't tell you that.
David Aspaw.
There you go.
So,
I think that's a donut you get at the gay club.
I did watch No Way Out. So
Costner?
I never watched
I've seen
it.
it once.
It was an
Sean
HBO
Young.
staple
Oh, yes.
when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Never got. I just remember Kevin Costner walking out of this gymnasium, and I was like, "That looks so fucking boring. I don't want to watch it." And it's not bad. Will Patton is
Espionage, am I thinking?
No. So Gene Hackman is a senator.
Okay.
Sean Young's nasty
I remember
ass
Sean Young,
is
yes.
this tramp that is dating Gene Hackman,
Okay.
but has an affair with Kevin Costner,
That sounds right.
and he's in love with her.
Okay.
He's in love with this mustache eyebrowed bitch, who I don't know who the fuck she fucked. And
That's why they cut her from Batman. They were like,
Yeah.
no, we're good.
nah.
Nicholson smelled it and said, get her off this fucking stage.
So yeah, I guess it's similar to, wow, I didn't even realize this, but Absolute Power, Gene Hackman. Doesn't he kill his mistress, or he kills somebody? So anyway, he kills Sean Young. He pushes her off the thing accidentally.
Sure.
He's remorseful.
Yeah.
But Will Patton is his Michael J. Fox
Okay, is a
Spin
City.
or
yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
He's the guy. No.
Yep.
So we're gonna pin it on this other fucking Russian guy.
Okay.
But Kevin
I did not know this
Costner
movie.
ends up being like
At least I don't remember it like that.
the suspect because he was secretly fucking her.
Right.
So they're looking for this guy, but even though Will Patton and Gene Hackman knows, but they have to make it look like this, so they're actually looking for Kevin Costner because they think he did, not because he was his
Give me the payoff, because I might remember this movie, but I don't think so. Yeah.
good. Will Patton's like gets the gun and shoots himself in the head at the end. And because Gene Hackman, you would think he'd be slimy, but he's
Right.
no, I got to turn myself in. He's like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, give me the gun, puts it down. Stupidly puts it down, and then he's talking to fucking
of course.
Kevin Costner, and then Will Patton comes back around and grabs the gun and goes, "Sir,
What did I do
and then
for you,
shoots his
sir?
brain. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. I remember that would have been a shock ending at the time. So, no, not familiar.
No, it was very lackluster. The director's very lackluster. It's Roger Donaldson.
I don't know who that is.
The only other movie I know him of doing is Dante's Peak with Pierce
I know
Brosnan.
why I no longer know this gentleman.
All right.
Anyway, Hoosiers, yes.
Hoosiers, great movie.
I
Don't
always
need to
think,
go into
I
it.
think of Unforgiven. I really do. That's
So,
right.
yeah,
That's my go-to.
That his presence is intimidating, no
Yes.
matter what. Because it started with French Connection. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He was kind of a bully fucking cop.
Bully cop, right?
And I just watched that again.
What's a Mississippi Burning, right? Oh, The
Really
Firm.
good. The Mississippi Burning,
God,
French
his
Connection,
90s
same
ride.
character.
That's
He's
funny.
basically like a
That's
rough and tough
funny.
fucking cop.
But good overall.
Right.
Like, he won't
Right.
he won't cross that line.
And isn't there another one where he's like that?
Probably.
I mean, I don't know about Loose Cannons.
That's a great one.
I
Come
can't
on.
remember
Give me
that
some
one.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, but
He's the Lucky
ooh,
Charm.
the package. Ooh, he's the star of this
Oh,
one.
shit.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Joanna Cassidy. All right.
Huh. The Loose Cannons.
Uh,
That's the one where, is that where Aykroyd was crazy?
Yes. The Lucky Charm.
Paired up
Power-
with
powerful,
amazing
yeah.
detective to capture some
Split
powerful
personality.
criminals.
Yes.
Yes. Dom
He changed the
DeLuise.
other guy.
Oh my shit.
But it's Bob Clark. That's
Oh.
that's the end.
I think I did try to rent that once. Oh,
I don't recall postcards.
no thanks.
Narrow margin, no. But that sounds like he's
did a
a
lot of
district
these.
attorney. He did.
He's very good at being a lawyer type dude.
He's good at procedurals. Company business.
Firm. I just watched the Firm
Love
yesterday.
the firm. Love the firm.
Saturday, I couldn't fucking move out of the fucking couch.
One of Sarah's
So I
favorites,
started a
honestly.
Gene Hackman movie, and I didn't realize this. So, No Way Out was the one I watched. I didn't realize this, but it just went to another Gene Hackman movie when I went to the bathroom.
Tremendous.
It ended up being The Firm. I'm like, oh, okay. So I
Great
never
album.
got around to turn it up because
Yeah.
it's great.
Oh,
It's
it's-
fuck, and he is the best part.
Mall the Bluffs, saw it in theaters. He is the best part. He's so charismatic.
Yeah.
You're like, I love Tom, but just fuck him. Just give him a tug job
I
through
mean,
the fence.
Wilford Brimley's
Wow,
pretty
yeah.
fucking badass,
Yeah.
though.
You were afraid of him for the first time ever.
Yeah. If
I mean, terrifying.
and
He
you
gets
know
those
what?
belly shots with the kicks.
You know what?
Oh.
I think he was younger than us in that role.
Silent Scarecrow. Prime Cut.
I've
Prime
never
Cut's
seen-
good.
Really?
I just downloaded it.
Oh,
Prime
yeah.
Cut's good. Michael
Lee
Ritchie.
Marvin.
Lee Marvin's a bad guy. Yeah, they're kind of like
I've heard about
kind of like
that.
Last Man Standing.
Heard about
These two
that.
rivals are having a feud.
Huh.
It's good though.
So then we get into the Supermans, which he does still play the greatest.
Yeah, Lex Luthor. Of
You know,
course.
who else played him? Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey. Who
Yeah.
else?
Oh, the kid Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, it wasn't good.
I can just smell him right now. Like
He didn't shave the bottom, which I think is
Great
led to the
things.
detriment of the character.
Warren Beatty directed Reds, so
He did. He won an Oscar, I believe.
what? Holy shit!
Douglas.
Aloha!
Hello, Doug.
How's it going?
How you doing, kid?
And then there's Under Fire, with Ed Harris and Nick Nolte.
I don't recall that ever.
Me neither. He's got a fucking.
Yeah, he's got the
I didn't bring
catalog.
anything today. I didn't bring anything today.
Then you get the Hoosiers, Superman 4.
And his 80s run here, which Mississippi Burning's
His
probably
90s
his best.
his 90s run is pretty stiff. It's a good wrap up to the career. If you don't want to count his last two movies, I would consider. I believe Ten the Bombs is 2000, but I would consider from Unforgiven, The Firm, Wyatt Earp, hypothetically.
Huh, Walter Hill directed
Huh.
Geronimo.
Never seen. Jason Patrick, that explains it.
Robert Duvall too, but he's always in this.
Dead's good, Tide's good.
Who are we searching?
Hackman.
We're this is our shout out to Gene Hackman.
You know, I was really unimpressed with the French Connection, but I still really want to see the conversation. That one's supposed to be
The
really
conversation's
good.
good slow. It's got the kid from Godfather and Godfather 2. Fredo. You know.
Well, you know it's a good movie because that guy
Well,
that
he's-
guy was in like five
Five
movies,
movies,
and they
right.
were all like Oscar winners.
He's in the Mexican? Is he the guy chasing him down? I don't remember it at all. Gore Verbinski, though.
That's big toe and ridiculous. That's big toe and ridiculous.
Oh, home, home, home. Smell this.